I miss that sexy smile.
Hello.
Makati.
Bonjour.
What's good, everybody? We're back at it again, but this time virtually. It's your girls
Yes.
like chalk and cheese. I am your co-host, Otne.
And I am your other host, Ru&Ot.
It is what it is, guys. You know, we're living in this world where, you know what, COVID times and all of these things. So
It's
lockdown.
very strange.
It's
It's
just
strange
like
times. We don't know.
But
what's
one
going
thing
on.
about us, you're not gonna bring us down, isn't?
We
You know
keep
what I
it
mean?
moving.
We keep it moving. We keep
moving.
it pushing. That's just the way we roll in these streets. So anyways, we're back at it again with another episode. I'm super excited about this one because let me tell you something. Love is a beautiful thing. But this one particularly, we're talking about love languages. Now, everybody knows about love languages, and we're just gonna try and see what the validity of love languages, is, and is it a real thing? Is it not? Are they myths? And all of these things. But how did we get to this point, though, Ruvi? Like, how did we get here?
You know what? Honestly, we believe both of us are lovers. We all love in different ways. So we kind of started thinking this might be true, you know? So this is love languages, myths or facts is the topic, okay? So Valentine's was around the corner and we're having a conversation with our producer and our sound guy. You guys know, before we went into this lockdown situation, we used to record together with our producers and our sound guy. And so basically we were talking about Valentine's Day and what their plans were. And the responses we got were just completely like chalk and cheese. You see what we did there? You see what we did.
You see what we did there?
Yeah, the responses were so different that we were just like, what? What's going on here? To also give you guys a little more background, one guy is white and one guy is black. African to be precise. Yes. And so shout out to Sheldon and Israel. Those are the two guys. Love you guys. You guys are our crew. Yeah. So they had totally different ways of expressing their love to their loved ones. They both thought that their ways of expressing love were valid. And that's not to say that one is better than the other. It's just the complexities of it, the way people are so different in expressing how they feel.
Yeah. So and it was so interesting because on one hand, now we won't tell you who was who because I mean, like, if you guys want, try and figure it out by yourself. But essentially, we had on one end, I'm gonna get my girl some flowers, and then after that I'm gonna like do this, and then also who knows, I might just go on a hot air balloon with her.
Air baruma.
Wow,
it's a lot going on.
I was like, but then as I was hearing all of this, so this is how it was interesting to us, because you have these two spectrums of these gentlemen expressing how they're going to show their love to loved ones, whatever they're going to do. And then you had the responses of us, you know, me and Ruby.
The females.
Because as Sheldon was describing what he's going to do for his girl, getting the flowers, hot air balloon, all of these things, Otney was over here like, woo! You're talking my language. Oh my God, so romantic. Meanwhile, Ruby is on the other hand. Girl, what were you saying?
I was literally like, I mean, why? Why are we doing all of that? What was the reason? What was the reason for this much drama for Valentine's Day? I couldn't wrap my mind around it. Right. So I was vibing more with Israel because I was like, yo, that's my love language. Because he was talking about, yo, I'm probably put some gas in my broad's car. I was like, prop, fire, shut up. Fill up my tank, sir. Fill it up. You make my day.
Simple,
what are you talking about?
You know, well, simple, but not, you know, but simple, but gestures that are like, you know, more, I guess, would help in day-to-day life. So maybe like cook for the ting, put the gas in the car, and all of these things. Ruby was raving, like, you know, like crazy.
I was like,
and all of these things.
That's my shit.
I
just realized I'm drinking a love mug. Isn't that super weird?
I mean, like, that's so good. You're in tune with our what we're trying to do in life, babes.
I'm here. I'm present.
You know what I mean? So anyway, so we were talking about this. Then we just thought to ourselves, you know what? This is about to be a topic. Let's talk about this. Let's bring this to the table and let's hear people's different views on what, the essence of love languages, the importance or non-importance, to be quite honest. And have you guys actually taken your love languages test? Did you actually know what you are and what you like and what you don't like? Tell us also in the comments.
Oh, speaking about that, also, it makes me think of when Anna Zip Sakira were live and talking to someone, and they asked him, do you know what your love language is? And then he said, my love language is Shona. And I was like, finished, because I said, first of all, you don't know the topic we're talking about, say. Your love language is Shona.
You know what I mean?
Your love language is not Shona.
Yeah, so also, do you guys even know what we're talking about?
Do you know what we're talking about?
Languages? Oh
are we with you? So if you don't know, we're gonna explain it, okay?
Yeah.
So basically, there's this theory. Psychologists brought up a theory that people have different ways of expressing love to their partners, and then also of how they want to be loved. So that's what love languages is. There's 5 different categories of the love languages. It doesn't mean that you are specifically this type of person. Also, with age and maturity, your love languages can sort of bounce around and move around and become fluid. So you're not stuck. Like, I remember being younger and thinking that my love language was about gifts, because that's what I saw other people doing, and that's how I saw other women appreciating, like being appreciated. So I remember being in high school and being bought my chocolates, my casino chocolates. Remember those boxes? I was like, okay, first of all, I do love chocolates, so maybe chocolate is my love language. However, I would like the chocolates and I would like the flowers on Valentine's Day, because you guys know in high school it was a big deal to get a rose on Valentine's Day, blah, blah, blah. So I would be part of that hype. I would be like, oh my God, I also want the flowers. But at some point in my adult life, I was like, what was the reason that we do these things? They are really, for me, they are really just pointless because they die. I don't want things that I can't keep forever or that don't have sentimental reason, like meaning to me forever.
Yeah.
So I had to figure that out in my adult age, but as a younger female, I totally liked flowers, I thought.
Yeah. But now, if you talk to Ruvimbo about flowers, she's like, what for? Stop it. Don't bring those things to me. I don't care for them. Please relax. And then, flip the script. And I get that with the whole like growing up and maturity thing. But you know what the funny thing is? Even for me though, I don't think my love languages have necessarily changed as much. I don't even think they've changed, because I've taken the love language test like 3 years before, 2 years after, all of these things, and they all basically come back the same. So it's one of those, like, they haven't necessarily changed. So it's one of those, like, but then I have seen people whose love languages have definitely changed, i.e. even yourself, right? So like, what would be your, I guess it's top 3 love languages, do you know?
So mine is act of service number 1. Guys, let me tell you right now, if my husband just cleans the house, my pennies are on the floor. They're on the floor, people. Come on. That is my love language. Panties on the floor for act of service number 1. Then I also really, really like, wow, I just pulled this out. I also really, really like, what is it called? Not gifts. I don't like that one.
So there's quality time. There's quality time.
Quality time is number 3, but there's another one that's number 2. Quality time was number 3.
Words of affirmation. So there's words of affirmation. There's quality time. There's physical touch. There's act of service.
That is not even in my top anything.
And then there's what is the?
Yeah. Okay. So I think for me it's acts of service, then quality time. Then words of affirmation, because I do like to be told once in a while that I'm doing good. I don't really I had to teach myself to be like, you don't always need validation from other people.
Of course.
But it is nice to sometimes get that validation from people. Right. Also, I'm really awkward when people validate me. I don't know how to react. I kind of get really weird, and I'm like,
even like physical touch, like you are the worst person. Like even like
I don't know how
whenever
to touch
we even
people.
try to give you a hug, you're like, or even when you are the one giving a hug, you're so awkward with it. You're like.
I'm so awkward, even with my own husband. Like,
Yeah.
we'll lay on the couch to watch a movie, and he's like, yo, let's snuggle. And I can't seem to just sit in the right place. Like, my body just doesn't seem to like understand physical affection. It just doesn't get it. You know, it's so strange. What are yours?
So mine are they interchange between these two, but I think you already know what it is. My number one is physical touch, because a girl, I don't know. It's for me. It's like, what do you mean? Hold my hand, give me snuggles. I want all of and I'm such a PDA person. Like, if I'm with a person, like, I'll just, my hand is somewhere on you, because why not? Like, I just, you know what I mean? I just find it so endearing. Like, if like I'm just randomly walking, you touch my back, or you're holding my hand, or all of those kinds of things. To me, that's one of those, like, I find it so endearing, or connecting. For me, it's more about like really connecting. So that's one of the ways I'm like in my head, yeah, physical touch. And then my second one is quality time, because hello, we want to spend time together all the time.
Okay,
Well,
so we vibe on that one. We agree.
yeah,
on
we
quality
definitely
time.
yeah we definitely vibe on quality touch. You and I, we don't vibe on physical touch. And then my third one as well is also words of affirmation. So for me, it's one of those, I you know, I want to I want to lift you up. I want you to also lift me up, because sometimes, especially in this world that we're living in, you got to hear that you're doing okay, babes. You're doing all right. You know what I mean? So for me, it's one of those. And I guess words of affirmation kind of ties into a like sort of like communication, essentially. Do you know what I mean? So it's just communicating that, but then the affirmation part obviously really helps, right? So for me, those are my top three: physical touch, quality time, and words of affirmation. So anyways, so we had a scenario that you actually went through, where what happened. So someone was,
Oh yeah, y'all need to know this story, okay? Because first of all, this is why I don't mess with flowers. I don't fucks with flowers, because this guy just he forced it upon me in the wrong situation. So let me tell y'all what happened. So this guy, we meet up for a date. We'd been talking for a few weeks. We seemed to really vibe well, and he was. I knew from the conversations we had that he was a romantic guy. You just know the way they talk, the way they're affectionate without like holding back. I knew he was a romantic guy. So I was like, okay, you know, I'll see what's up with that. He asks me out on Valentine's Day for a movie and dinner. Okay, great. Sure, let's do it. And I get it. Valentine's Day is about the red roses. I get that's like the whole culture norm, whatever. But it's like you show up with red roses at a movie theater, at a cinema, a bunch of roses. What must I do with them? Say, now we are here. First of all, they're not in a vase. You know how they just have the wrapping?
Yeah.
Is a bunch. I have a
You're in the
bunch
movie theater.
of
Excuse me.
flowers.
Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm trying to hold my popcorn. Excuse me, sorry. Just nonsense. Then after that, we must then go for a dinner with the flowers again. I don't have a vehicle. I'm a student. Where must I put these things? The whole night was a total shit show. I was just carrying around these damn flowers. I was so annoyed. And then
Yo.
and they, you know, roses have a very strong scent.
Yeah,
It's nice if you're like, it's like wafts of it. But imagine sitting in a theater and it's just like, oh, I could
The
not.
entire
No.
time,
After
yeah.
that, I was like,
It's not
this
for
is
me,
not
sir.
for me.
Thank you so much.
It's not for me.
Man, that's
I
why
tell
I was
every man, do not buy me flowers.
Don't
Please.
do it.
Don't make that mistake.
So when it came down to your husband, the first thing you let him know is like, hey, don't do it. I'm not even that girl.
I
Don't
told
you
him
even worry.
immediately. I was like, oh, because there was a time, you know, so my husband and I were long distance for a long time. So I went to live with him in the UK for a little bit. And there's a time we had a squabble, couples issues or whatever. And he went out to buy me flowers. Hi, boo. I was like, do you not know who you're with? Like, what?
Wrong gesture.
You've angered me even more. Now we must fight. Because why are we here with these stupid things? He's never made that mistake again. He's never bought me flowers again.
That is
Like,
so
no.
crazy. Like, and that's why I'm like, yo, me and you, that's why we are like chalk and cheese. Because me, even in that scenario of like the movie theater and everything, I would have actually been smiling. be like, me my flowers.
How do you enjoy your popcorn? How do you enjoy your popcorn with a bunch of
don't
flowers?
know.
Where were you gonna put them? Were you gonna put them on the floor?
I don't know, girl.
Because roses are expensive, so it's disrespectful to even put them on the ground.
Yeah,
You have to hold them, right?
My days. Like it's crazy.
It's just a lot of work.
But then this is the thing about love languages, though. This is the discussion we were having. We were like, when it comes down to love languages, like with your partners or even just anybody, like in your family, it's really about understanding your love language. Yes, to then let your partner know, because it's one of those, when you understand your love language, it's not necessarily like for you, it's for your partner to know how to love you. But then the problem is people now go ahead and understand what their love languages are, and then in their relationships there's so much squabbles. Why? Because what you're doing is you're projecting your love language onto your person. So now are we psychic? Like, how am I supposed to know like you like acts of service? How am I supposed to know? You know what I mean? And then you get, and then we get mad when it's one of those, I'm projecting my love language onto you. So I'm doing all the physical touch, and then you're not physical touching me because you're not a PDA person, and then it's a fight. You know what I mean? You don't love me because you don't physical touch me.
And like it for me and Nash, it was the same thing. I actually had to get him to do the test. He didn't even know about it prior. Like, I mean, he heard the term love languages. He didn't know that you can actually complete a test online that will help you figure it out. So early on in our relationship, we both completed the test together. His came out number one, like physical touch. My husband loves to be touched. He loves, he's a teddy bear. Yeah. So that came up for him. So I had to realize, oh, that's what you want. It might not be what I want, but I know when to give it to you because I know that's what you're seeking from me as your partner. So even though I don't like to be touched, you will see me like, holding my husband's hand, or you will see us, like I said, snuggling on a couch, because I understand that's what he expects. That's what he needs from me. What he knows what I need from him is for him to pick up some freaking
grocery
gloves and clean up the kitchen or go grocery shopping. You know what I mean? So people make that mistake all the time of projecting their own love languages onto their partners, and it just doesn't work. And that's when you say, oh, love languages are not real. No, you're just doing it the wrong way.
You're just doing it wrong. The love languages are not for you to, understand your love languages, but for you to then be able to communicate them to like your partner. Do you know what I mean? So that you guys are able to actually, but have a harmonious relationship. Because now imagine, I'm getting what I need. I'm giving what needs to be gave. You know what I mean? Oh my God, that's a sweet spot right there. You know what I mean? So it's so interesting to me, like this whole topic. And to us, we were like, all right, let's bring it to the table. Let's see what the people are talking about in the streets when it comes down to love languages, and how you guys actually handle it, between yourselves with your partners and whomever else. Because even in our friendships, like we could kind of use, we know each other's love languages. So Ruby knows when to, words of affirmation me. And I will know when to go and change the diaper for her baby, because I know like that's an act of service. It's gonna help. That's an act of service. What's English even? What's an act of service?
What accent you're doing? But even then, yes, that's another thing. People need to realize that love languages can also be within friendships, not just between husband and wife, even amongst sibling relationships, amongst cousins, co-workers. Realize what the people in your environment need from you, and also be eloquent enough to tell them what you need from them for you to thrive. Because unfortunately, people like at my job, I manage a whole team, and we talk about this all the time, where I know what one of my coordinators needs from me. She loves words of affirmation. If she does something, you need to actually acknowledge her and say, wow, what you did yesterday was tip-top shape. She will keep doing a better job because you continue to acknowledge her work. There are some people who don't give two shits whether you acknowledge their work or not, because they're going to keep grinding. But there's some people who need that. So even as a manager in a position at work, you also have to notice your employees. What do they require from you? Your friendships, what do they require from you? So you can just basically build the people around you. That's what love languages are about. It's not just about, hey, is it physical touch? Hey, are we going to have sex today? No.
I mean,
There's
don't
like
go
a
around
whole-
physical touching your managers and shit. Like, we didn't say
No,
that.
don't do that.
But you know what we mean. You know what I mean. But yeah, no, and that's you basically hit the nail on the head there. It's exactly that. Like, scope out your environment, check it out, and see, like, you know, the people who you're building relationships with, like what it is. Because at the end of the day, even if people don't want to admit it, we're all seeking stuff from each other. You know what I mean? One way or the other, and that's true connection and all of these things. So really, like, analyze your environment and see, like, what's up and who needs what and stuff like that, because that's the only way people are going to be able to elevate each other anyways in the world in general. But we're going on and on because it's a topic that we will continue to talk about. But anyways, let us know, guys. Like, engage with us. Let us know in the comments whether you're looking at us from our website, whether you're looking at us from the different streaming places that we stream, whether you're looking at us from our YouTube channel. Just to, you know, engage with us in the comments and tell us what you think about love languages and how you guys handle it. And also tell us your love languages. Like, you guys, what are your love languages? Let's hear from you guys. What are your love languages?
I would also like to know if someone feels like their love language was not put on those 5. Like, maybe you're like, there's one missing, and I feel like I'm not there. Like, there's something, you know, because I actually had this conversation with one of my coworkers who was convinced that there's a love language missing for her specifically, because for her, she really, really enjoys being around, like, she's an extrovert in a relationship and an introvert outside a relationship. So she's like, I don't really mesh. Yeah. So I was like, interesting. Do you guys feel the same way? Do you feel like the 5 are just so restricting and you feel like you kind of should be placed somewhere else? Let us know in the comments. Talk to us.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for writing for us. Like, listen, this is us. We're trying a new thing with the virtual thing, but soon you're also going to be seeing, like, us bring people in as well, like having guests and stuff like that. So that's just a heads up to y'all. So if you guys want to be on our podcast and have a little chatsy with us, with Ruvi and with me and with, like, Chalk and Cheese, and we'll be here bantering together, also let us know in the comments, and we'll, you know, distribute some information on how you guys can go about that. So it's super exciting. It's super exciting times. But as for now, guys, we are like Chalk and Cheese. As always, I am your co-host, Otne.
And I am your other host, Ruvi. And it's been a true pleasure to talk to you guys today. We will see you in the next one. Bye.